That was loud as shit.
Yeah, why was it fucking so loud?
I don't know. I blasted us.
He ear blasted me.
Hey, you.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
this
guys
is your
and girls.
podcast for September 5th, 2020. Welcome to fall. I don't know when autumn officially begins, but it's not yet.
It's one of the fucking solstices, I guess, but I can't remember. You would think that would be a fact, a little factoid that Michael Pegger would have skipping around in his head.
I think it's one of those things that changes every year. You know, I think maybe that's why. Doesn't
Yeah.
the first day of autumn change every year based on like the position of the Earth and like when it's like specifically at its halfway
again,
point?
this is information that you would expect me to know,
Yeah.
but I don't fucking know it. I can't
Nah,
remember.
it's definitely not fall yet. I don't know what the weather's like where you are, lovely listener, but in Darmstadt, Germany, where we do this podcast from, things have cooled off a little bit.
It's beautiful. I
I
love it.
fucking
I
love
love
it,
wearing
man.
sweaters, dude.
Yeah, fall is my season, dude.
You know what's kind of in style I've noticed in Germany are fucking like Bill Cosby kinds of sweaters.
Yeah, really? Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah,
big,
you know,
big
like
fluffy
this-
fucking sweaters with like really thick knitting or whatever.
Thick weird, like off knitting with
yeah,
color,
weird
like
designs
big
and shit.
colors and shit.
Yeah, but like with like really skinny, like colorful jeans
Man,
that show your ankles.
That kind of fucking sweater was kind of the signature of Bill Cosby. And you think that would go out after this whole Bill Cosby thing, kind of like the tiny mustache went out after Hitler, you know?
Yeah,
Nobody's walking around with tiny mustaches anymore.
That's
Why
true.
are they wearing these
How
Huxtable sweatshirts?
how in style do you think that mustache was before Hitler?
Well, Charlie Chaplin had it.
Yeah,
That's why Hitler did it, because he was a huge Charlie Chaplin fan.
that's so fucking weird.
I know.
Man, these sound waves are a bit small today.
That's what
Check,
she
check,
said.
check. Microphone check.
We're good,
All
dude.
right, I'm just always nervous because if we fuck it up, we fuck it up. Though we haven't fucked one up in a long time, I guess. Anyway, here we are today. Yeah, ladies, you might not know.
What's up? What's coming now?
You might not, if you live with your boyfriend or your husband or some guy you're just banging, whatever, and you find a little ball of lint in the toilet, you might not know what that is. But that's from guys taking it out of their belly button and flicking it in the toilet.
What
okay?
the fuck are you talking about?
Mike, I just found your fucking ball of lint in that toilet back there.
That's
Don't
not my
deny.
belly button lint.
Ah, come on.
Are you kidding? I can't remember. I don't think I've ever had lint in my belly button.
I guess you don't have enough hair down there or what to make lint.
I guess not. I don't know. Wait, is lint from hair, or is it from like the hair on your shirt?
It's from the hair on your shirt
Let me give this
collecting
a
in your
look.
belly
Wait a
button.
minute.
Yeah, dig in there, man. Dig in there. You got nothing there. Do you?
I got nothing. It's clean.
Oh man,
I
you're
take care of
clean
my.
shaven down
I
there.
take care of my
Well, then
orifices.
who's throwing belly button lint in our fucking toilet, man?
That's a mystery, dude.
Anyway, you ever heard? I was listening to some weird music today. You ever heard of the genre Bartcore?
Bartcore
Yeah.
has something to do with The Simpsons, I guess.
No, like a Bart, like back in medieval times. Bard? How do you say it?
Oh, a bard.
Bardcore. Yeah. Sorry, I think in German it's Bart or something.
Right.
Bardcore. Yeah. It's basically people playing modern songs but with medieval instruments.
Yeah. No.
And it
there's-
has millions of fucking views. All these videos. It's
No,
like,
sure.
It's like an exploding genre. you know?
I had that in college. There was one that played War Pigs,
Yeah.
and it was awesome.
But you should see it,
It's
dude.
really good.
Because they do all the fucking hit songs, but then also they have like animated medieval art that accompanies it half the time.
Yeah.
It's a fucking trip, dude. But like, there's people that are emerging as like top artists in the genre, and they got like 6-7 million views on some of these videos. Bardcore.
Make one, dude.
Check it out.
We keep
It's too
talking
much
about this
fucking
shit.
work.
Hey, listen, I've got some. I want to get back to some of the shit that's happened recently
Yeah.
on sex, drugs, and opera. Not just on the podcast, but on social media also.
Okay.
This one guy wrote in. He said, listening to the most recent podcast, I watched the Salzburg Vodcek on Medici high as fuck, and it was magical. Please do a thing of best shows / productions to watch high.
Oh,
I think
okay.
I think that could be something in the future, but Vodcek would be a fucking trippy one to do high.
Hi. Yeah, it depends a lot on the production, right?
I guess so, but even that piece, people getting murdered and shit. I mean, ew. And it's kind of dark, and the music's not exactly like straight up
Yeah.
accessible music. So I can imagine that fucking with you a little bit.
Yeah, you can have some bad trips though. I in university I smoked once. I listened to Crumb. Dark Angels?
No, I don't.
Oh, dude.
I know.
It's fucking
that's what I
terrifying.
do.
No. It's like an orchestral. It's like a string quartet piece. It's. I think it's called Dark Angels by Crumb. Look it up sometime. Put some headphones on.
Dark
It's
Angels
some.
by
You gotta look it up now. Yeah.
No. Go ahead.
You can play it. Who gives a fuck? It's fucking terrifying, man. That's not one. If you're fucking high, put on some Jaco Pastorius. Okay, listen to that. Some fucking fretless bass. That shit's gonna be mellow as fuck. Or maybe some Bartcore while I'm
I like it.
while I'm selling the genre. But Crumb, Dark Angels, don't do it, man. You're gonna fuck your night up. No, that's true. That's kind of a tip question there. You kind of threw in there out of nowhere. You kind of tipped it up.
No, well,
That's a surprise
kind of.
tip.
No, he said, "Can you do that?" That's not. We're not tipping it. He's just making a request, which I actually think is not a bad idea. Well,
What was the request? I totally
to
fucking
make
forgot
a
already.
list of the best operas to watch high.
Yeah, I'd have
That
to
could be an
think on it.
episode sometime.
Yeah, sure. Nah,
There's
I'm
one more
down.
thing I want to get to.
Okay.
This girl who follows us, Elisa Luvish or something like that. Lewisch.
Okay, does she want her name?
Yeah, she did. She said it.
Okay.
This goes all the way back to this fucking Fledermaus hatred that we like to expound sometime.
We.
This girl, not me. This girl has seen Fledermaus, she claims, over 80 fucking times, going back to her childhood and when she was a fucking child.
Yeah.
This is how much. Look, this is how off the mark I maybe am with Fledermaus. This is the kind of fucking love it inspires in some people. When she was young, she used to dress for like Halloween. She dressed up as Rosalinda,
Okay.
and her father and
Yeah.
her would do reenactments of it with these Playmobil things. I don't know if Americans know what Playmobil is. They're kind of like
I think
Legos.
So. I had Playmobil.
Oh, did you?
Up. Yeah.
Well, they did like They did like
Tinker
the
toys.
entire fucking thing of Fledermaus with these Playmobiles.
Christ Almighty.
Christ Almighty.
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy. It's hard, because
She loves that shit.
Yeah, people fucking love everything, But it's crazy. People have just had such different childhoods,
Absolutely.
Like, that's the thing is I try to be open and I try to respect the fact that okay, people don't think like me, and the way they think is also valid because they have a different story than I have, and I try my best to, but I can't fucking predict everything. And just growing up dressing as opera characters and listening to opera was so far away from my childhood.
I was just about to say that. Like this, we are now opera singers.
Yeah.
And we weren't even close to dressing up as Rosalinda.
But you know what's funny is the people that I know very few opera singers that I know some, of course, but that had that childhood. But I know a lot of opera fans that had that childhood.
Exactly. It seems to be, and she's not a singer now, but she's involved in theater and everything.
Okay.
So she loves the art form, and she's still involved in it today, and that's what her childhood was like. And I wondered to myself, if my childhood were like that, would I be an opera singer today?
Mm.
Or is that something I would have pursued?
I don't know.
Because I swear to God, I hear the conversation more like the people who just love opera have that sort of experience, but the people who do opera don't necessarily have that experience.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily listen to opera that often in my free time. I did.
Except on the desert island.
Yeah, of course, but can't segue yet, bitch. But do you remember in university, like listening to opera all the goddamn time?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
look,
I remember when I was learning to sing, I just was all day, every day, I was walking around listening to
Yeah.
it. But now, at the age of 33, doing it professionally, I almost never listen to it outside of rehearsal or a show I'm learning.
I have
It's
waves.
become a
I
fucking
barely
job,
even I barely even listen to it when I'm listening to a show. First
Yeah.
off, I cannot. I know people. I know people who straight up learn music from recordings, and I don't understand how it's fucking possible.
Just listening to the recording 100 fucking times.
100 fucking times. And if I've ever tried, I tried that once, and I just swam around in uncertainty whenever that music
No.
started playing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I got to do it by myself now.
Yeah.
But-
No, that stresses me out, yeah.
What I was going to say is, I go through fucking waves. I'll have right now. I am in a French Baroque wave right now.
Okay.
I'm just listening to Rameau and Lully all the fucking time. But before that, it was Old Crow Medicine Show.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that fucking membrane was between those two that broke, and then I bust into the next one.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I go through phases too, but I haven't had the opera phase in quite a while. I had a CD like 3 or 4 years ago, like the something tenors. It was like 20 different tenors or something like that, and it was all these old recordings I'd never heard of famous fucking people.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Pav and everybody, and Corelli, and then what's the guy with the eyebrows? Villatson, right?
Villatson.
Yeah. And he had something, I can't remember what it was, some French thing. It was fucking incredible, the musicality he had on that shit. And I wore that thing the fuck out, you know? But yeah, I don't know, phases. Before we transition to our topic, though, I want to bring up something that's just kind of been pissing me off a little bit here.
All right.
It hasn't been pissing me off. I actually think it's hilarious. Those of you that listen to this podcast, I think, enjoy the way Mike and I talk and kind of the way we discuss opera on this show, which is weird because it's kind of a double-edged sword in the sense that, like, that is what has made us popular, is the fact that we talk about, like, you know, throwing up on our dicks, but then also, like, talk about, like, Donizetti in the same podcast. And,
or
you know,
Donizetti throwing up on his dick.
Yeah. Not a lot of people are talking about that. You know, talking about Don Jose hiding flowers up his ass in prison, you know. But at the same time, that gets us denied a lot of big opportunities.
Absolutely.
If you guys knew the amount of like opera houses, publications, like labels and shit that like approach us with interest, you know, like, wow, you guys are a big fucking podcast. We're thinking about maybe like collaborating with you. And it's like, well, check out our shit. And then they write, and then it comes back with like, no fucking way.
Right.
We are not fucking touching your shit. Is fine. And I don't know. I'm.
We just got turned down recently for a big one. Like, they're like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
The first thing they saw was about people jacking off during Beethoven concerts. That's the first clip they saw. I have watched that on our Instagram account 15, 20 times, 30, 40 times. I don't know. It's hilarious because it's such a funny premise of just see you're when you said head bobbing Caspers out there.
Yeah.
It's fucking it is just demonstrably fucking funny. And I don't understand how that's not sellable. Why can't you be associated with that shit? But they're not. They
but fuck them.
shy away.
Because that's the whole thing. And that I'm not going to get into it because we got other shit we're going to talk about today. But that's kind of my whole problem with opera in general is that, like, people, and I think I said on the last podcast, or maybe this is a conversation I had at the bar. I can't remember. It all blends together now. But people are just so fucking afraid to be themselves. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
true.
And that's one of the reasons that Mike and I can't have a lot of guests on the show is because there's a lot of people where it's like, man, backstage at rehearsal is fucking great, and then like you get in any sort of professional setting, and it's just suddenly like the persona, which was a big theme I think in season 1 of our podcast, is talking about the idea of being an opera singer and all this shit.
Well, that was actually one of the other criticisms they had. They said, "Oh, you guys don't have a lot of big names on the podcast." Yeah, we don't go looking for big names. We don't go looking for names to have on the fucking podcast.
Yeah, most of those people would fucking suck.
The only person we ever said was Bryn Terfel. I just want him to be on the podcast. I don't
you know what?
why.
He would probably have a PR team that would fucking deny us.
That's definitely true. That's
guarantee
definitely
it.
true. The thing about it, I think it boils down to the more money there is in an organization.
Yeah.
The more risk there is for putting yourself out there. Like these big companies, they want to do things that are basically surefire not going to lose them money.
Yeah, I agree. But also to me, what that says is if you talk about popularity of music, popularity of something creative, then what you're talking about is it appealing to the most people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as soon as you start doing something niche like dick jokes in opera, it's like you're going to alienate a lot of fucking people.
Definitely.
You're going to have a small subset of people that are going to really like what you fucking do, but there's no way you can mass sell something like that. That's also why you don't see a lot of funny fucking operas. You know,
that's
like
right.
Comedians are fucking funny. And Mike and I, we've said it before on the show, we're huge fans of stand-up comedy, you know? And I've been to a lot of comedy shows, big shows, but I've also been to like little ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like clubs, right?
Yeah.
And man, comedy for the most part is a lot of the same fucking jokes. It's a lot of shock humor and shit, and it's like a lot of swearing. But when you go to a comedy club, you have to have the mindset of like, I'm gonna fucking hear anything.
Yeah.
You know? And that's kind of the whole vibe is they go up there and they should be allowed to say whatever the fuck they want and joke about whatever they want. Opera, man, the people who watch opera are not like that.
No, not at all.
They are not trying to
Which that's why I get.
It's very hard to be funny on an opera stage.
It's terribly hard to be. Well, that's a timing thing. Also, you and I have often talked about why these comics make such good actors. Oftentimes, and it's because they have such a finely tuned sense of timing.
Yeah.
Because in comedy, it's everything.
Yeah, sure.
It's
And that's why
everything.
comedy works in straight plays really well too. But in opera, it's like
Timing is.
it's like you
so
know the joke's
stretched
coming
out
now,
often.
but you have to like that is a joke.
Yeah.
Like you have to like
in the,
delay it a bit,
in the garlic
or
bread.
it comes too soon. Yeah.
In the garlic bread one, it worked pretty well
Yeah.
because you were able to just take it straight to that point, like it was love, 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 garlic. Like I love you, garlic bread, right?
Yeah.
That worked fine. That timing was right. But to make a lot of the jokes that you might hear in stand up,
Yeah.
that's really hard to do if you have a time sense,
Yeah.
like a musical time sense that is stretched out a bit.
Yeah.
Then it obviously doesn't come. The reaction time for the brain is faster
Yeah.
than the time it takes to actually sing it, which means that the brain gets the joke before you make the joke, and then it's not as funny.
It would have
You're
to
not
be.
shocked.
It'd have to be like that's just Eve, you know, the whole thing would have to be that.
Yeah.
You know. Plus, I mean, on the same thing, it's like when they. I've said it before. Like people who do super titles ruin jokes all the time. Because when the words land at a different time,
that drives me nuts.
they'll fuck you, man. They'll fuck you bad. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's transition. So, do you want to grab
A beer?
The beer. Yeah, grab a beer, and I'll tell them what we're doing today. So here's what's up, peeps. Last episode you heard, we did kind of this desert island stuff. We talked about what Mike and I would bring to us with the island, and then in the Secret Sponsor podcast last week, we talked about what we would like fucking not bring, what we would just like destroy forever. We're gonna do the same thing this week, but we're gonna reverse it. So we're gonna tell you guys the shit we fucking hate, and then in the Secret Sponsor podcast, we'll talk about the same categories of stuff that we fucking like. The only difference is this time we're actually doing not opera stuff. So our categories are non-opera singer, our favorite, then like non-opera song, and something else, instrument, I think.
We need a cup.
But you had the bottle open in your hand. Where'd it go?
It's in my hand.
All right, hopefully this beer is cold. Mike has this strategy where he takes a wet paper towel. Oh, it's fucking frozen.
I know,
Okay.
It's incredible.
Mike, and it works. I have to say, you take a wet paper towel, you wrap it around the beer, and you throw it in the freezer. And like 10 minutes, that thing's fucking ice.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking crazy. All right, so which one's that? Is that mine?
This one's yours. 1 second. I'm glad we're doing beer again.
Yeah. So Mike and I, we're recording another early one. That's just kind of where we got into at this point in our lives. But we decided to do beer for this podcast. So we went out to the old liquor store. There's a place in Darmstadt.
It's like opening a present, taking off this.
Oh, well, you
taking
don't have
off
to take
this
it
one
off.
thing.
Oh, I guess
I
you
want
want
to
to see the
see.
label.
Oh, it's coconut
So there's a place.
Coconut
What's it
beer.
called? Maroon or what?
maroon.
Yeah, and it's you guys should look it up online. It's one of the biggest fucking liquor stores I've ever been in. They got everything,
Yeah.
every sort of beer, whiskey, whatever you want, like aisles and aisles of every type. And
Miles
we
and miles of aisles and aisles.
we were in there today at like 9:45 in the morning picking out beer.
That's when all the
for you
alcoholics are
fucks.
there.
So this is my pick. This is coconut beer. I love coconut shit. Pina colada is my favorite cocktail. Back in the day, Mike and I had a big coconut gel phase we went through, but you can't find it down here. You remember that coconut gel?
You mean coconut? Yeah, like
Coconut scented hair gel.
Oh yeah, no,
You remember you and I were big into that, but you can only buy that up in Oldenburg.
that's
I
not
think.
true.
Well, you buy it down here?
Yeah, of
Are you
course
still
you can.
coconutting?
Every once in a while, if I have to use gel,
Yeah.
then I'll use the coconut gel.
Man, I like smelling like coconut. You know, people like that. They get in close and they're like, "You smell like a coconut," and I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah, man.
Okay.
No, that doesn't work. That's Jamaican. Do they have coconut stout in Jamaica?
They got coconuts everywhere.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know about this one, dude. I told Mike I bought some honey beer the other week. Oh, this made my stomach do something weird. All right. I don't taste any coconut.
Aftertaste. Any aftertaste. It's there.
I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't taste it. I'm mixing it with coffee, so I don't really taste it.
Oh yeah, your taste buds are all fooked.
All right, so let's get into it here, man. Because we also I always we got to get into some tip questions, so we got to move quickly through this. All right.
All right.
Non-opera singer. So we talked about this on the podcast and the Secret Sponsor one last week. When you talk about shit you hate, it's hard because. Of course, I would just do away with like 90% of like SoundCloud
fuck, that's
fucking
right.
rappers.
We're doing things we hate on this one.
Yeah, I told you, man.
Yeah.
I told
Totally.
you. I texted you fucking last
Totally.
night. Yeah, and so when you talk about things you hate, it's like I can't just say things that I've heard that you don't know about. So you kind of have to go after famous people, and usually famous people are at least pretty good. So it's hard. I find it's hard to talk critically about like famous fucking people because it's like you have to have something most of the time.
I mean,
you know what
I have and this is non-classical singer that you hate.
Yeah, not that you hate a non-classical singer that's like you fucking hate and want to die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
I mean, I thought of a lot. Did you have like just one in mind, or did you
basically had one in mind? But go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you my thought process. The first place my mind went to was Yoko Ono. You ever see this video?
God.
You ever see the video of her on stage with who were they singing with? It was
what's his name?
What was the song? Do you remember?
Johnny B. Good.
It was a Johnny B. Good. Yeah. I can't remember the name either, but it was her and John Lennon. And this guy, you should check out the video on YouTube.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
And they're singing, and she has the tambourine. And in the middle of the performance, she just walks up, grabs this microphone, and starts doing some crazy shit, right? And like this shit. And the guy who's singing, not John Lennon, but the other guy, I can't remember his name right now.
Hold on, I'm looking it up now.
It was Johnny B. Good, I think.
Chuck Berry.
Yeah, Chuck Berry, of course. And like so John Lennon, they're like, "Go, Johnny, go!" Like doing this shit, and she's and the look on Chuck Berry's face when she does it was fucking hilarious. So I thought about her, and then of course I thought about all these people like Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan that had songs, right?
Yeah, but they could like the thing about Yoko is she was just objectionable in that, but she's not really a singer, is she?
No. And these other ones aren't either. Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton aren't.
Okay.
Then I thought about the lead singer of the B-52s. I've always hated that guy. They do like Rock Lobster and Love Shack. Yeah. And the guy's just like, "Bring your jukebox money." Like the guy's famous off of doing like that voice. Do you know what I'm talking about?
But I don't know. There's something about that.
We were lying on the
charming.
beach, like looking for something to eat, like just doing like this monster mash, like talking.
It's the monster mash.
Fuck that guy. And then so then the two real ones that bother me are like, I've always had some trouble with Alicia Keys. Everyone likes her, but to me, when I listen to her music, she always sounds a bit flat to me, and she always sounds like the song is one key too high.
Okay, no, that's a
whenever
fair
she sings, she's like, "Sometimes I want it all." It's always like a bit under, and it's always like if this song was bumped down a key, you don't have to be belting the high D or whatever. Like bump it down like one to make it more mellow. That was one, but my real pick at the end of the day was Kanye West, man.
Yeah. Okay, that's a solid pick.
The dude's fucking nuts. His music is okay. He's not a fucking genius. You know what I mean?
He calls it. I mean, so do you not like him because of the voice, or do you not like him because of the fucking arrogance and the genius talk?
It all
and
gets
all that
wrapped
kind of
up
stuff?
together, because to me, when you talk about like a singer, you're talking about a storyteller, and it's like it's not opera. It's not just the voice. It's like in pop music, it's different. You know, when you sing "I Will Always Love You," you're singing Whitney Houston's song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you sing Verdi, you're singing Verdi. So you're more of a singer. But in the pop world, you get attached to the message you're fucking singing about and shit like that. You know, it's hard to break them. So I don't know. Kanye West, I know that he has some good shit. And he influenced a lot of stuff like in the pop world, but I never got what the fucking fuss was about, man.
Interesting. That's a good one.
I could do away with Kanye West.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I don't know if I could name a Kanye West song. I've heard them, but they were all pretty disinteresting.
And I know Jay-Z was fucking stoked on him back in the day and shit. But it's just like, I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. But it's not like, I don't get the fucking hype, man. Who's your guy? You said you had someone.
I say Christina Aguilera.
Really?
I know. Look, people will get on me about this, but
she's a good singer, man.
Yeah, she's fine. But I've got something that bothers me about. So, do you remember I mentioned at one point about Harry Connick Jr. being on American Idol?
Yeah.
And he was doing master classes with these people.
And like saying real shit.
And saying like what you would hear in a classical voice lesson. Exactly. But why are you doing that? Right?
Yeah.
Don't do it unmotivated. And when I listen to Christina Aguilera and the fucking riffs she does.
Nah, it's true.
It's like, nah, I don't need any of that.
Nah, it's true.
And I don't know why you're doing it, and you don't know why you're doing it. Except for
it's just a different type of thing, you know. It's like it's just showcasing the voice.
But it gets on my tits.
Nah, you're true. You're right. I mean, she has a good technique. Yeah,
Sure.
You can't deny it. But musicality, not that much. Not that much. Because even in her ballads, which is mostly what she's known for, is her ballads. She's supposed to have these vulnerable sections, and they always come off as just breathy and dirty.
Yeah, I just
dirty.
don't buy it. I
You know
don't
what I mean?
buy her.
Like Trust. She's doing Trust the Voice Within, which is a powerful song, and the music video is all about just being true to who you are. But she's like, young girl. It's very fucking sexy.
No.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's not actually what we're doing here.
Right.
That's
That's not what this is about.
And then you're right. Then she does scream on shit where it's like I don't really get why this is happening. I get it. I think she's a good singer from a technical standpoint. I do use her as a good example of vocalizing,
Sure.
She spells E's and F's. It's fucking great. But I get it. Because also when on the Secret Sponsor podcast, when we talk about the good shit, because I said the categories were singer, song, and instrument.
Yeah.
And I find most of the things I hate are the things that exist only to pander to people.
Yeah.
Singers, so Christina Aguilera is a good example of that. She's kind of pandering to people who want to have that sound, but she's not really going after saying something.
I mean, they would say they are.
I don't want to ruin my good picks right now. But the people I picked as my favorite fucking singers are the ones that are like, I don't give a fuck. I'm fucking saying this because it needs to be heard.
Yeah.
And the song and instrument were the same for me.
Yeah.
Same reasons,
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
What song do you not like?
Yellow Submarine. I fucking hate that song. I fucking hate it so much.
Yeah.
And, I made a playlist for my kids, right?
Yeah.
And our au pair, right? She introduced them to that song. And as a kid, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, it has a very
you're
kid song
jamming about
vibe.
It's a Yellow Submarine. I get it. But
it's Yellow Submarine, which is good for kids, but it also has that kid song, dee da dee dee da bee ba 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 da. That's like kids song 101.
Yeah.
They can just jump around with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fucking whatever song.
Yeah.
It's like but it's famous. It's so fucking famous because it's like, oh look, they just did what they want. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. Fine. But it's a fucking I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's not enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah.
Like the way they're singing it also is some and I'm like, every fucking time I try to what I try to do is when we're in the car and we're listening to it. So I put their playlist on random.
Kids got their own playlist.
Yeah, they have their own playlist. I should put it out there for people. It's good.
Right, man. Spotify, Mike's kids playlist.
I could put it.
It would
out.
have weird shit on there. It's probably got the Dark Knight in there, and then also Baby
It does.
Shark and shit.
It has the Danny Elfman Batman, right?
Okay.
And then goes straight into Johnny Cash. I've Been Everywhere, and then into the German version of the new Frozen song.
Was that Lass es los, or what did they say?
No, that's Lass jetzt los is the old one, but this was. Wo noch niemand war, wo noch niemand war.
Oh, yeah.
Into the unknown.
Oh, yeah.
And she, look, that
so up on
shout
that
out to that, shout out to that singer. The German version, mwah,
hey,
she's good.
You ever want to go down a rabbit hole, man? Look up your favorite fucking Disney songs in other languages. Most of them are better.
Well, it's funny. There's this famous song from there's this famous video from Let It Go where they go through the entire song, but they have singers from 26 different languages. The people who dubbed the song going through it, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so
like
fucking
the Korean versions of some of this shit.
The Korean singer's really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yellow Submarine, dude.
Yellow Submarine's a good pick.
If that song never existed, I'd be like,
There's other songs that I think you hate, though.
What?
I'm surprised you didn't say Wham! Last Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you hate that song?
I fucking hate that song.
Yeah. But, I
fucking hate that song.
I think the reason you hate that song is the same reason I don't like music like that, is that it's formulaic. It's like Christmas, bells, we're going to put this formula together and make a song. And
it's a love song that just takes place at Christmas.
Yeah. But a lot of things these days on social media, you people have to learn to see through production and filters and cameras and actually see like valuable creative fucking content because it's really rare these days. You know what I mean? It's very easy to make a song that has a good mix and has all the instruments and has the voice and has like lyrics, but like, is it fucking good?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, does it fucking say something? And a lot of these songs are fucking formulaic. My pick was Happy by Pharrell Williams, whatever his name is. I hate that song, dude.
Okay, no, look, I get it. I totally fucking
because for me
get
it's formulaic. It's like what song are people gonna like to listen to? Like, let's just say the word happy a bunch and
musically, it's
let's
not
clap,
entirely
clap your hands if you feel like it's just.
Yeah, I get it. But let me ask you
And
this:
I'm happy.
when you hear
and they
it,
use it for everything.
when you hear it, do you move?
No, I get pissed off.
At the beginning, you weren't going.
No, I get it, but I don't like that beat and shit. I don't like it. Okay,
Good.
It's
fine.
artificial
I'm not
to me.
trying to convince you.
I get it. But
it's
like,
got the moving.
yeah, but
quality.
someone made that song for a fucking purpose, and they achieved it. You know, these labels, they know what the fuck they're doing.
Absolutely.
Like a lot of these songs, like some other ones I thought about was, of course, like Getting Jiggy with It. You know, with fucking Will Smith back in the day. Getting jiggy with it. Nah, 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 nah. That's the same thing. It's like someone was just like, all right, let's invent a word. People are doing that a lot with like fucking Lady Gaga and Pogo Stick and shit. Let's fucking invent a word. Like, let's get some na 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 chorus going on. Boom. You know, I also I worked in a music store for a long time.
Okay, go ahead.
And do you want to say something about that?
Yeah. I was just thinking about what the other song that he did, with the Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West. Yeah, all that shit was terrible. But I worked in a music store for a long time, and I almost didn't go to university because of this job. Because it was Mills Music in Kent, Washington, okay? I don't give a shit. They can't fire me, right? I worked at Mills Music in Kent, Washington, and Mark Mills owned Mills Music, and it was a chain. He owned a lot of them. And this particular Mills Music, no one fucking came into, ever, right? Nobody ever came into this fucking store.
He's definitely not in business anymore. What, he sold CDs?
No, musical instruments. But like most of our business was in 5th or 6th grade, people would rent an instrument and then you'd do up the contract.
That's big business.
Yeah, sure. It made a lot of money, but like no one needed to come during the year. So we had like a busy month at the beginning of the school year and then just jack shit the rest of the year. And the back room we rented for lessons, but there was a back door for that. So they never came through the music store.
Right.
So me and this fucking stoner I worked with had a couch and an N64 and there was a pizza place next door, I think Papa John's or something. And the dude that worked there would bring over a pizza and we would just fucking like
play N64.
Like open the store, do that till the store closed, shut off the lights and go home. It was fucking awesome. But anyway, the thing that I hate is if someone came into that store, you better fucking believe that they played, how do you say it in English? Für Elise? Is it Für Elise? Is that what the people say in English?
For release, I guess so. I can't remember.
I don't know. Für Elise. This Beethoven song, right? I can't hear that song anymore.
Yeah.
I also don't get the fuss what that song is.
No, I do.
It's fine, right? But it's like I don't.
First off, the whole sonata together is good.
Yeah, of course. I'm just talking about that one that people play on the piano. Why has that song? I mean, that song's so popular, I guess, because people can play it. Like,
they all play it until the second part.
But even the second part, where you're talking about, where it's like, where it's da 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 da, like that part in the middle, right?
Yeah, well,
where like
that's right. At the end, it starts to get like
but
heavier.
Still, it does, but it's still after a couple years of piano lessons, it's definitely something you can play. Of
course,
you know.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of bang for the buck. You sound like you can play piano when you can't. So I get what people do da 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 da. Because I've had a lot of students that come in and they play that, but they can't read music. If there's one song people can play and can't read music, it's fucking Für Elise.
That's it. Yep, absolutely.
That might be up on my list too.
Nah,
happy from Pharrell.
Come on, you can't do.
I thought about Spice Girls. If you want to be my lover, I fucking hate that song too.
Yeah, fuck that song.
But I think that happy song, that's the one song that when it comes on the radio, I'm like, can you fucking shut this shit off? Just hate that song, man. I'm a bitter person. Okay.
No, I get it. You're not happy.
Every time, and I hate that people like it so much.
Yeah, there is something about
everyone's like dancing to it, like in a German bar, and all the German people. Because if you guys don't speak German,
you are happy.
Yeah, but they go happy. So Germans can't go like cat, so they do the They do the with the umlaut, he. And then Germans also cut a lot of words, like anything that has a p or an n in it. A German would say like ein. They wouldn't say like ein.
Right. They have short. They have short.
Yeah, they don't say open. They would be like open. Right.
Open, yeah.
Yeah. And so they say hippie, happy. And so you got to imagine like in Germany that I am happy. And then they don't sing because they can't understand the rest.
Right.
Just fucking all these soccer
They
moms.
say, I am happy.
Yeah, I am happy.
My son's name to the German-speaking world is Jack.
Jack.
Not Jack.
Yeah, it's like Dick, but with a J. Like
I'm like,
Jack.
come on, people. It's the exact same. It's just like jack off.
Yeah. But
Don't
they
you
can't,
guys
but they
know
don't, they don't
that?
have ad. So it's like ja, but that's never a long sound in
Jack.
German, really.
Jack.
Hello, check. And it's like check sometimes.
Check, right.
Because
Like
they can't say,
Chad.
they also don't have j.
Yeah.
Like they try to make the j sound, but they spell it crazy in English. Like jungle, I think is spelled like
D-S-C-H.
D-S-C-H. Like the return of Jafar. I saw that once in a video store. And it was like return of the D-C-A, like Jafar. Because they can't say j.
So you know Peppa Pig. Peppa's brother is named George.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right? And in the German version, his name is Schorsch.
Schorsch.
But that's an actual name. Like Georg. You guys might remember Georg from the podcast. The fucking ripped muscle guy, right? And he, where he's from, a lot of people call him Schorsch.
Schorsch.
Instead of Georg.
That's weird.
And I know, it's fucking weird. And they spell that Schorsch. Schorsch.
I would see that and I would think it was a fucking mistake.
Fucking ridiculous.
All right, let's do the last one, then let's get on to the tips.
Hippies.
What about instrument, man?
Saxophone.
Saxophone?
Get it the fuck out of here.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah, of course. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Come on.
Yeah, look, I've tried for a long time.
Yeah?
I even gave credit to like modern composers for trying to integrate the saxophone into the symphony orchestra.
You've never pumped away to Kenny G.
No. No, fuck that. No, look,
even
sorry.
the breathy one.
No. Nope.
No,
I'm done. I'm done with the saxophone. I
get it.
There's like almost no. Every time I hear like a jazz thing and there's a saxophone, it has its part as a color.
Yeah.
It has its part to play as like a color.
Yeah.
But I don't want it or really the tuba ever to step in front.
Oh, fuck you, man.
The other
Tuba's
people.
good. Tuba's good.
Yeah, but do you really? It's an oddity and like a special thing that the tuba's getting a fucking solo.
I guess, dude. But when I was growing up, I of course played tuba for years and years.
I'm
We've talked about
pissing
this
off the
before.
tubists
but
out there.
There's something that exists. It's not worldwide, but definitely in America, whatever city you live in, I dare you to Google Merry Tuba Christmas and then your city, Chicago, Seattle, Pittsburgh. There's a Merry Tuba Christmas, and there's probably hundreds of tuba players in your city that meet and play Christmas songs at Christmas times. And my brother and I did that shit like 6 years in a row, dude. And you got a button every time you did Merry Tuba Christmas.
What a
right?
filthy,
and filthy
tradition.
It was a horrible sound because one tuba, like there's, and I wish I could remember the name of these famous tuba players, but it's been like 15 fucking years. But there's people that do beautiful things. It has this,
sure,
like there's this like when you audition for orchestra shit, some of you singers might not know this, but there's of course standard orchestral excerpts you have to play, right? And I remember there's like these tuba ones were all really high and beautiful, and you would think it was a French horn. You wouldn't think it was a tuba if you heard it, like unless you know the sound of a tuba really well. But that's one. But you talk about getting 100 fucking tuba players together playing 4-part harmony,
a bunch of
all
fucking
in bass clef, and they're all shit hobbyists.
Right,
you know what I mean? It sucked. But you got a button every year you did it, dude. And no matter what you're doing, no matter what industry is, what music thing you're doing it, if there is a platform to be successful at it, then there's fucking groupies.
Yep.
And I swear to God, you got a button every year you did it. And some of these big cock fucking guys that have been around for 20 years, and they had all the buttons you can't even get anymore, the buttons you can't even see anymore. They were just like,
I get it.
They were walking around with their big dick swinging around, and I'm there like professional tuba player with 2 buttons, and they're treating me like I'm a piece of shit.
You are a piece of shit. Come back in 20 years when you got 20 fucking buttons.
I don't give a fuck that you play with Seattle Symphony, you little dick.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Jesus
Until you get
Christ.
some more buttons.
No, seriously, but I get that though. They have a realm. They have a realm where they are swinging.
Yeah.
In that realm. And you can't touch them. You have no right to touch them in that realm.
I guess. But I was sitting there with my like 5,000 rotary key Russian fucking tuba, you know, and they're there with their shit dented fucking shit talking down to me. You get in the back, right? Because you also like you couldn't sit in the fucking front with 2 buttons.
You earn.
Yeah.
You earn that
front
fucking spot. You earn that tuba spot.
These fucks, they were really big dick swinging because they wouldn't even have music. right? Because they'd done it so
Right.
much, they knew all the arrangements. They're just like,
And they're laughing at you in the back.
Yes.
Fucking music
and
in
with
the
two
back.
buttons, you can't even play melody. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because only
Oh, they don't let you.
Yeah, so all the fucks up front are like whoop 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 whoop, and I'm just like just doing that, right? But I did it every year for some
I
reason.
love it.
I
love
got
it that
drunker
they
every
have
year.
that they have an outlet
Yeah.
where they are the king. They're the fucking king of this
Merry
parade.
Tuba Christmas. I dare you fuckers to look it up.
Merry
I
Tuba
dare you to go.
Christmas.
And we would do it like at the Capitol building in Olympia, in Washington. And like big dome, right? And just echoing. And we would cut off, just big 400-person fart, and it would resonate for like 20 seconds, dude. It was just like fwap.
Meanwhile,
there's a
there's
government office where
There's
people
a fucking guy on trial for
Yeah.
his life in
Yeah.
the next room. Get these fucking
people-
tubas out of here.
Yeah.
I'm innocent.
Yeah,
I'm fucking innocent.
There's
Get
people
these
getting
tubas
divorced,
out.
He's like, fine, you can have the dog.
Whap,
And-
whap, whap.
Just hear that? Oh my god!
Dude, why is that the seal of approval, the badge of honor for amateur musicians? To play on the steps of the Capitol,
Yeah.
they get a fucking tour bus, they all go to the Capitol, and they play on the steps of the Capitol,
Yeah.
or they play at a fucking government building. I doubt most of them are fucking invited.
Yeah,
they
man,
just
that's-
show up and play, and it's like
that's their
that's
Carnegie
on their
Hall.
resume now.
That's their Carnegie Hall. It's the same for us. Do you know how many people sang at Carnegie Hall as some sort of choir shit when they were like 12 years old?
That's true.
And they're like, well, when I was at Carnegie Hall,
Right, and it's on their
performing,
CV now.
Yeah, and it's like all you gotta do is like if I started a young artist program, right? All I would give a shit about is not training, nothing. Fuck you all. All I would do is give it the most dramatic fucking name, and I would have full fucking attendance every year. I would call it like what's a good name for that? Like the Royal Opera Academy of Germany.
Yeah, sure.
I would call it that.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, I sang Papageno at the Royal Opera Academy of Germany. But really, what you did is you like sang from like an apartment window.
Exactly.
with like
you gave a Corona
you-
concert from your balcony.
Yeah, but as long as the name is good, because that's all people want. Is
Yep.
They want the role and the name. And I'd be giving out big roles. I'd be like, look, you're singing the Dutchman. Don't practice it. Just come and do it. It's a 2-day program.
Yeah.
Okay? I sang the Flying Dutchman at the Royal Opera Academy of Germany. It's like, holy shit, that guy's fucking good, man.
Hire him. Hire him now.
How many buttons does that guy have?
Dude, what's your fucking instrument?
Piccolo, dude.
Oh, come on.
Piccolo. Get the fuck
Really?
out of here. Yeah, because my whole thing with the instruments, with all this shit, is I want the most bang for my buck, and I want color. And piccolo has like one fucking color. A flute has warmth and breathiness.
that's true.
But piccolo is just, it's just shrill, And I get it. Yeah, it's nice.
Serves its
And
purpose.
Sousa, come on, when that refrain
Yep.
of Stars and
I was
Stripes,
just gonna say.
like I also
You
get
can't
chubbed.
live without,
I get
yeah.
chubbed, yeah. But like.
A little piccolo chub.
But piccolo, bagpipes, kazoo, all that shit. One fucking sound. I don't need it. Give me like tuba. It has warmth. It has high like.
I would never say something like the bagpipes, because the bagpipes, I mean, once you get the
Yeah, but-
that's a special occasion sort of sound. You could never get rid of that, but
Yeah, I
you
get it.
could
But
basically
who-
delete
who-
saxophone from every
No,
recording I've ever
people-
heard.
Kenny G is a famous saxophonist. You hate the saxophone, and you know who Kenny G is. Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. Name me one bagpipe player. Name me one bagpipe group, one bagpipe band. Name me the creator of any bagpipe brand. It's like it only at a funeral. Okay, yeah, Danny boy, give me that.
Yeah,
and like
no.
a military thing.
I
it's
don't
great,
know what you're
and I
talking
love
about.
that
Brand
context.
McFergus is one of
Fuck
the.
you, Brand McFergus. It's the Mick. You can't put Mick in a fake name, dude.
Of course you can, because
No,
it's
he's gonna know.
Scottish. He's from the McFergus clan.
If you said McFerguson, you might have got me. All right.
Brad McFerguson?
All right.
That sounds more made up.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna do a sponsor here real quick. I'm gonna just turn it down. So just did you wipe it out?
No, it's good.
Oh, you got it. Okay, here we go. Are you warming up to it? Okay.
Sammy.
I wish I had a
Sammy
fucking
Morton.
kazoo.
Sammy Morris. Sammy Morton.
I'm gonna turn it down. You don't have to do the whole
Sammy
song.
Morton. Morris. Sam Morton Morris.
Here we go.
Thank you, Sam Morton Morris, for your sponsorship. Coming in big, helping this podcast survive through the difficult Corona times.
Yeah, Sam Morton Morris. That's the name, right?
Yep, Sam
okay,
Morton
it's hard to
Morris.
read it from here. Sam Morton Morris. Cool name, and thanks for sponsoring us.
Yeah, 3 names. I like it.
Yeah, you slip a fourth in there. I sent you the password to the secret sponsor section. You now have access to our additional podcasts. Every time we record a podcast for you new listeners, we record a second podcast that our secret sponsors get to listen to. It's usually the same theme or like an opposite theme or something like that.
That's a new trend we tried to do this season where it's a related theme somehow to the main podcast.
And it's been working well. We're going to do it for as long as we can, I think. Yeah, Sam Morton Morrison, thank you. To our sponsors, though, I'm just going to remind some of you, we had some changes. Patreon, the platform in which we get our sponsors, had some legal changes lately with taxes and shit like that. And, like, I don't know, some stuff happened. And so some of you guys' sponsorship adjusted by a few cents, and a lot of people got declined. So please call your bank and take care of that, because it was a big portion of you. Sam Morton, thank you. Thank you for your sponsorship. Thank you to everybody. Today, as I said, in our secret sponsor section, you can find the same categories we just talked about, but our good versions. So our favorite instrument, our favorite non-opera singer, our favorite song we're going to talk about in the secret sponsor thing. You guys got to forgive me. I'm fucking slow as shit today, man. I don't know. I'm a bit hungover. But Hair of the Dog here is going to help. What did you bring out here?
Oh man, look at this girl on this. There's an animated. I always get a very weird sensation whenever a cartoon makes me sexually aroused.
Oh yeah, okay. Let me see that.
But she's fucking gorgeous, dude.
Let me get in close here. The Mystique IPA.
The Mystique IPA
Looks like Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey. Well, that's not bad.
She's got the choker, man. I got a weakness for the
honestly,
choker.
That's coming back a little bit. I see it every once in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, in the 90s, or no,
I think a lot of that shit comes from your childhood, yeah, because like pocketless jeans, the choker, like denim miniskirts.
Pocketless.
Yeah, Seattle. We were doing some real shit in Seattle. Okay,
no, you guys
were out there.
Fake shit in Seattle.
Nah, you guys were out there fucking deer out in. Dude, denim, like denim skirts and like the American Eagle fucking polo shirt, you know?
Yeah, but look, I mean, the trend there was probably more pockets.
The puka shell necklace and all that shit.
Like
yeah,
the
pocketless
big
jeans were a thing,
jeans
dude.
And shit.
Pocketless jeans, man. Oh, Christ, did I
Are
discover
you done
myself?
with that one? Can I pour you some?
I got no coconut the whole time I was drinking that.
Honestly, Dodo. Oh my God, I just called you my wife.
Holy Christ, dude! On
hell.
air. I
know that's a
the Freudian slip.
I think that one might have been bad.
You can't just blame all these beers on being bad.
But it's got the sour. It's got this sour thing, and you're right. I said at the beginning, I tasted a little coconut.
Yeah, but I think it's a real coconut, because I think we get used to fake flavors. You know, fake strawberries, fake banana, like fake coconut, like in pina colada. But have you ever had coconut water? It's fucking disgusting.
That one's not bad.
Let's see what we got.
Oh yes.
Is that an IPA?
Oh, you choker.
You're such an IPA guy, man.
I fucking love IPA, dude.
Okay, here we go.
I fucking love it.
We always take too long to get to these tips, and then we don't get through any of them.
Well, you haven't played the music yet.
Yeah, okay, here we go. I gotta turn it back up here. This might blast us. I don't know what's gonna happen, so just be ready for it.
Blast my ears.
That's pretty good. Merry Tuba Christmas.
Dip love.
All right. You can't imagine the sound, dude. Like, you've never heard To be there. You know, to feel all these old vibrating men's lips in your body.
Seriously, you know how much old man spit and air is
That's
blowing
Corona.
around?
That's Corona bullshit,
That's
dude.
Like,
you
you want to get some old man Corona?
Yeah.
Go to Merry Tuba Christmas.
And you know, I know tuba players. I know who they are as people. Okay, and these fuckers, if you had a Merry Tuba Christmas, they would make giant masks that they put on the top of their tuba that look like a medical mask. That's who tuba players are. Okay. You understand what I'm saying?
I do. I understand what you're saying. It just makes me
they're a type of people.
Irrationally angry.
They're the same type of people who put like that red nose on the front of their car at Christmas time.
Oh yeah, I get that.
I'm just gonna start blasting.
Or like the Santa legs hanging out the back of the car.
That Santa falling from the ladder thing people hang on their house.
I got to tell you though, I have a garden because we moved to a place with a garden now. That garden is going to be a motherfucking winter wonderland.
Oh, yeah?
If I could buy a snow machine, I would.
Yeah.
And create just like a little hill there that we can fucking sled ride down. That'd be amazing.
I'm trying to see it. I mean, you put lights up.
Lights on the hedge, of course. That's
You're
a given.
going to get the inflatable snow globe?
Yeah. Well, maybe I don't know about the snow globe, but I'd like to get like one of those big puff up Santa Clauses, but one that's irrationally big.
Yeah.
Like a couple stories tall.
Like your neighbors will be posting that shit on Instagram.
Like my neighbors will be getting intimate and getting ready to stick it in up in the house next to them, and all of a sudden they see this big blow up Santa head looking in, watching.
Ho ho. Okay.
You're a ho ho ho.
All right, here we go. Ready? Hey there. I'm a latecomer to finding this podcast. I just started from episode 1 about a week ago. I just listened to your episode you released when the Notre Dame Cathedral had burned. You spent some time talking about the Disney movie and the book, Hunchback. You mentioned how you thought they were extreme in their own ways. The book was really dark and complicated, while the movie was kind of lame because it had a happy Disney ending. I thought I'd bring up the Alan Menken musical, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. You know that?
Nope.
At all? Me neither. This is a Disney musical that didn't really take off, never went to Broadway, but this musical is the first show I ever did back in high school, so it holds a special place in my heart. The music is incredible! In caps, right? In case you don't know, Alan Menken is the composer who wrote The Little Mermaid, which you also mentioned you enjoyed.
Yeah.
While this is a Disney musical, the show is actually pretty dark, and the ending is exactly like the book, not the happy ending from the movie. This musical still has all the hits from the movie, Bells, 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 etc., plus a ton of additional songs that are all amazing in their own right, and I personally think it's some of Menken's best work. Give it a listen. I think you'd enjoy.
Look, that's fair. There is...
For those of you curious, I'm just going to say when
Did we shit on it there?
Alan Menken,
I can't
guess,
remember shitting on the movie.
No, we didn't shit on the movie, but we just said that the book's fucking dark as shit, but the movie's happy.
That's right.
And you know what's fucked up? It goes hand in hand with what we were talking about earlier. I think this musical probably didn't take off because it ended dark.
Yeah, probably.
And I would love that. There's a niche amount of people that would love to have a musical that ended fucking dark. You know?
Did it end dark, or did she just say it was dark? It's darker than the movie.
He said... he said the show is actually pretty dark, and the ending is exactly like the book.
Oh, awesome. Well, look, I'd be really, really interested in seeing that, especially since a lot of the music from the movie is really good. Mm. This Hellfire song that
Disney
what's the bad guy's name?
Is it Frollo?
Frollo. Yeah, I think.
Frodo Baggins?
Frollo Baggins, right. That song he sings in front of the fire is fucking, oh man.
Disney had some good
You can
villain
imagine
songs
like a
back in the day.
baritone, like a fucking baritone singing that shit, right? And there's that, and the beginning where they tell the story of him being found and the guy going, bells at Notre Dame. Right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I just cracked big on that one.
But there's a Hunchback of Mutual.
What?
I've heard something. Is that from the movie?
Stroke?
Is that from the movie where it's like out there somewhere in the sun? Is that from the movie, or where's that from?
Maybe.
I have Hunchback music in my mind.
Is that God Help the Outcasts or what?
I don't fucking know. Anyway, thanks for writing in. Check out the musical. Someone send us a fucking link.
Yeah, send us a link.
That's too bad it didn't get more popular because I think musicals have to be fucking happy and fluffy these days. You know, people don't. Opera, that's
but Les Mis is like one of the most popular musicals ever, and it's not very
Les
fluffy.
Mis, of course, Rent. There's sad ones, you know. But Hunchback, I think you are stuck selling what Disney set up, you know?
Sure. I mean, that's why it's a little surprising that it didn't succeed, because it was a good movie. People enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, those musicals have such a solid foundation, such a solid base already, that them not succeeding is almost the rarity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And with a composer like that and with the Hunchback, but really, I think people really, they know this shit only from Disney. And the Hunchback of Notre Dame's like the Bible, where I think everyone says they've read it, but nobody has, you know?
Absolutely. Like the Bible.
So I think that's
really
maybe
good
why.
comparison.
All right, here we go. Next one. Hi, SDAO crew. My name's I don't know.
Have we ever been called a crew before?
We got a huge crew back here, so you know. I'm gonna skip your name because I don't know if I should say it. I'm finishing up my last semester of my bachelor's in vocal performance, and looking into grad schools is sending me into a panic because it's so damn expensive. I want to go into opera, but at the same time, I can't justify putting myself and my parents $100,000 in debt so someone can teach me how to sing.
I dig that.
Do you think it's possible to make a career in opera without going to grad school, or just working a teacher and coach? It is grad school necessary? You kind of trailed off there at the end.
Hey,
yeah.
concentrate here. No, look,
do not go in $100,000 debt for fucking singing and music.
$100,000 is a lot, and
Do not do that.
look, grad schools. I would suggest trying to find a smaller school that needs a GA or a TA.
Yeah.
Right? Like find a position where you can get paid to go to grad school, and then fucking do that. They're out there. There are enough schools out there that are looking for GAs and TAs because they need that support on the teaching side. And they also want to have people. They want to have people in their graduate program, so they pay for it. So I would suggest trying to find something like that. Start making some connections. Again, Jared and I talked about it today. The episode on the university system, the Hochschule system, the Hochschule system is coming sometime.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We just have to do it because it costs you nothing to study here.
Yeah, well, we'll do it because, Mike and I, we sing here in Germany, but neither of us studied here. So we like over beer, we talk about people and their experiences, but I have no idea like what that application process is like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know that there's Hochschule, and I know that in Germany a master's is less common.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people singing with no masters in Germany.
Right.
Because German life is kind of like that in general. I think a bachelor's in Germany is a bit more valuable than a bachelor's in America sometimes because in Germany, school's free, yes, but because of that, you're not valuable as a student. So if you get through a bachelor's, you legitimately learn that subject matter most of the time. When in America, you can often buy your way through a school. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people I went to school with that.
I mean, $100,000 is a big thing. You want to become an opera singer? Look, I've often said,
yeah,
I wish the whole path to being an opera singer wasn't necessarily involved in the university. It shouldn't necessarily be. I wish it were one of these things where you got a great teacher, you got a good name, somebody that believes in you, somebody that wants to become their apprentice. Why couldn't it be more like an apprenticeship thing? People don't need everything that is taught in a university. They don't need a piece of paper to sing on a stage.
No.
The problem is that the system is kind of built that way right now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the game you got to play.
Yeah. And it's like the thing is like, obviously opera's a very privileged thing. If you have money and shit like that and connections, you're gonna have a better shot at a career than if you don't. That's just how it fucking works. And you can want being an opera singer all at once. But for me, $100,000 for a singing degree is non-negotiable. You don't do that. You don't do that no matter how good you are, no matter who tells you you're going to be a fucking star. You don't do it because, look, on the other side of it, if you take because no one told me this when I was 18, but if you take $100,000 in debt out at like 6-7%, your interest is going to be $800 a month. Yeah, your payment is going to be your interest will be $800 a month. Okay, your payments are going to be more like $1,200-$1,400 if you want to pay off that capital over like 40 years. Okay. Do you really think you're going to make enough money as an opera singer to pay off $1,200 of payments and have enough money to live a life?
That's disgusting.
Do you know how much a shit fucking apartment in we live in Darmstadt. That's not a big city, but in Frankfurt, a shit apartment's $1,000 a month. Okay, groceries $500. You want a car? You want any shot at a normal life? You want to sometimes have drinks with friends? You need $2,500 a month to live. You're paying off $1,200 a month in student loans. No opera singer's making $3,000 or $4,000 a month. A very, very few, and the few that are making that much money, they do not owe it to a fucking master's degree. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Jonas Kaufman is not where he is because he got a master's, You can have a career in opera without a master's. You can have a career without training. It will be harder. But if you're fucking good, people will not ignore that. But it does not make sense mathematically or financially to go into that much debt when you look at the average earning of an opera singer.
That's right.
You will not make that much money.
On the other side, if you're going to do that, if you're going to say, no, look, I can take a tiny fraction of that money, give it to a teacher, and have them transform my voice, which you absolutely can. You can take and give, it's really a tiny fraction, and get all the vocal training that you would have gotten at the university. Maybe not the theoretical training. Maybe you do take some of that. Even if you take money to pay a consistent teacher, like maybe a couple times a week even, and a tutor on theory.
Yeah.
right? Which is important. You should not neglect that shit. Theory and musicality, right? I would say that, or like you got to be a musician. If you're going to be an opera singer, you got to be a musician.
That's true, but I also know a lot of dumb opera singers.
I know, but fuck them. You should. You don't want to be a dumb opera singer.
Nah, you don't want to. You don't want to be
a
a dumb opera singer, but it's like $100,000. You know, if you pay $1,000 a month for voice lessons, after 2 years, you're talking about $24,000. And $1,000 a month for voice lessons is if you go to New York and you train with the best fucking people in the world, you're talking $150 a lesson.
You don't need to go. You don't need to go to New York.
That's $600 a month.
Look,
you can have a job and afford that.
Even the university in East Kabumfuck, New York.
Yeah.
Right, like out in the fucking sticks. They're still hiring professional
singers. Yeah, but I'm not talking about
people.
University. I'm talking about you go stay.
Right.
Okay.
But that means that these places out in the middle of nowhere with these universities that actually have highly qualified singers, all you need is somebody there, like in your area where you say, hey, look, I'm not going to the university, but I would really like to study.
Yeah.
And then you pay those people on the side. It doesn't have to be $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
It really doesn't have to be anywhere close to that.
When you're 18, 20 years old, I think people don't have the foresight at that age to understand that, like, you probably won't have a career in opera, like that's going to pay that much money, and you might not even want to be an opera singer in 6 years. Yeah. Most people that I know that have quit opera are very good, better than I am.
Yeah.
Someone told me once when I was 23, I was like, I just want to have a career in opera, man. And he was like, I think it was Jacob Will in South Carolina. I'm going to give the guy a shout out. I think he was like, you just got to be dumb enough to stay in it long enough and you'll have a career. And he's kind of right, Yeah. It's like, sometimes I think I have a career because I was just I was dumb enough to like keep doing it
dumb.
into my 30s, like eating bread because I can't afford it and shit. It's like most people, they get 29 years old and they're like, I want a family, I want kids, I want an adult life. Fuck this shit. And
understandably,
you don't want to be 29 and make that decision and have a fucking master's degree.
Well, I'll tell you
opera.
this. What I was getting at was, if you're going to decide to try to do it outside of it, have a plan.
Yeah.
Sit down. Maybe sit down with somebody you trust, somebody that has a career or, maybe a teacher from your bachelor's and say, what are the most important things? What are the pillars of becoming an opera singer, right? Yeah. Any normal person will tell you, you got to have your shit together.
Yeah.
Like vocally, you've got to be somewhat of an artist. Because there are non-artists who are famous opera singers all the time because they just can't express the fucking words that are coming out of their mouths.
Yeah.
They can't fucking do it. But they have careers. But you should be. You should be theoretically an artist. So you got to get those in line.
Yeah.
You've got to find a way to get connections.
Yeah.
Right? You've got to do all kinds of different things.
Yeah, but it's like, that's true. That is all true. But do not neglect the fact that, like, this is a gamble, and it's a too big of gamble. If you take out $100,000, you're gambling that you will have an absolutely amazing opera career, because that is the only way that you can pay that off, is that you're the 1% of opera singers that make that kind of fucking money. And if you don't, then you're going to be paying back that mistake for the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah, and by the way,
that is not a logical gamble to make.
Look, I don't know if you've been paying attention, Mr. But there are lots of people out of work right now.
Yeah.
There are lots of really highly qualified musicians out of work right now.
The market's flooded. Houses are closing. It's not, if you look at it just statistically, I know it's your dream to be a singer and everyone wants to be a singer, but it's like, there are way more singers than jobs. And that drives the price down. Look, it's your life. You get one life. It would make way more sense objectively to learn German, pay a lot of money, $500 a month to learn German for 3 years.
Yeah.
Go to a Hochschule in Germany, study for free, be in the opera capital of the fucking world. You're still, even that amount of energy and money is not going to touch a loan of $100,000 at 6% interest.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Really, if I could go back and I finish my bachelor's, spend the money for the bachelor's, you need to have the experience, blah, blah, blah. But if I could go back to 21 years old, I would study German. I would join a school. I wouldn't do Duolingo or some shit. I would join a fucking school.
And make it a job to learn German.
I would be like, I am going to be fluent in German in 2 years. I would go to Germany. I would go to a Hochschule for fucking free. I would have my master's. It cost me nothing. I would take a shot at an opera career where it's the easiest place to have an opera career. It's still hard in Germany, but it's easiest. And if I fail, I would go home debt-free with a fucking second language and some world experience.
Look, so the world experience is a big thing. But like I said, you can get free education in your master's if you do it right. If you're willing to do some work and be a GA and grade some fucking papers and shit like that, you can do it in America. You just got to be smart about it. Everybody's about name. Everybody is about name. And I can tell you something. I went from a big name school in my bachelor's to a school that is not as big as my bachelor's, like in name and reputation. Doesn't fucking matter. Nobody looks at what my master's was whenever I audition in front of them. They listen to how I sing and what I look like when I'm singing.
Yeah.
Because all they give a shit about, is having that product be good on their stage.
Yeah, the resume will get you the audition, but it won't win you the audition. You know?
That's right, but it is sometimes an issue to
you got to have a name,
audition.
you got to have a competition and shit like that. Yes, but it's like you got to look at your position in life, and you got to look at that gamble realistically, and you can't let dreaming get in the way and shit.
Look,
you got to look at the fucking reality.
I love the advice that we're giving, but it's a bit hypocritical too because you and I both took out loans to do it.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying it's a terrible fucking idea. You know what I mean? Like, yes, but I also know how much I make, and I know how much singers make. And if you think that you're going to be making $4,000 a fucking month, you know, my buddy sings at Deutsche Oper Berlin. He's not making that kind of money.
No.
You know, if you're not a fucking star, you're not making that kind of money every month. And if you are, Mike and I were talking about business before we started the podcast. The bigger your career gets, the more you have to fucking pay money to do things.
Yeah, big name singers have oftentimes have coaches that fly with them.
Yeah, or you start talking about like international taxes.
Yeah.
You know, you're making money in China and Germany and Russia and like the Netherlands and shit. You're going to lose a lot of fucking money to taxes.
Yeah, you need an accountant.
Yeah.
You got to now pay an accountant to figure all that shit out.
Yeah, you don't get to pay American tax rate everywhere. If you're in Germany, you're paying 40 fucking %.
Yeah,
you know
totally.
what I mean? So I don't know. That's a rant, but it's really fucking important to me.
It's a big important rant.
It's important
dude.
to me. Don't take it lightly.
No,
you know?
don't take it lightly. And honestly, the absolute fucking best to you, dude. That's like it's a hard decision to make. And what I would say is though that debt is no joke. Debt is no fucking joke. And there is no debt forgiveness for student loans, which is the most criminal thing. One of the most criminal things that has ever happened in American history.
I'm not doing another tip because I'm going to stay on this till we're done.
Yeah, do it.
This is important. Yes,
it's
you can
fucking criminal.
But also, well, I've said it before on the podcast. You have to be. You be a fucking artist and free and shit when you're making your music. But when you start mixing money into the mix, making money, asking for money, spending money, taking loans, you need to look at it like a fucking business person. And you need to look at the costs over time and your earning potential and your potential at growth, right?
Yeah.
You need to look at the market. Is the market expanding or is the market fucking shrinking? You know what I mean?
Yeah, so having an active grasp on what's actually happening in the market is a really difficult thing to do. Most professors are outside of the market when they're teaching, so they don't really have that oversight. And there's another thing to remember with professors. Professors want you to come to them.
Yeah.
Right? And they want to have successes with their students. But when a student is not a success, the professor pays zero. There's no cost to a professor whenever a student fails, right? It's not that the professors are malevolent or that there should be a cost imposed on them. What I'm saying is that it's your choice. If you fail at the career and you've got this amount of debt, then you're the one who has to pay it, nobody else.
Yeah.
And there's a real problem with if professors have one problem that they really should do is that they should have the courage.
Yeah.
They should have the fucking balls
Yeah.
to be able to say to a student, look,
Yeah.
in my professional opinion, I don't think that you.
Well, let me tell you a story, Michael Pecker. I
don't think that you can do this. I'm
no,
sorry.
Yeah. But I was doing. I won't say the name of the school, but I was doing adjunct faculty at a university. Right. It was like a short time gig, and I was basically teaching some voice lessons and singing some roles. Right. And there was a woman there who was a color to a soprano. She was in her mid-30s and fucking sucked. Just fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Couldn't act. Couldn't sing. Languages were bad, out of tune, no shot at a career. You're 36 years old, getting a master's as a color to a soprano, a performance degree, not
36. It's already too late.
It's fucking done. There's no way, right? And she wasn't my student, but I had like contact with her, right? And I went to the head of the voice department, and I was like, "Hey, someone's got to tell that girl." You know, because I already understood by that point in my life how bad it was to have debt following me around, you know? And I went to the head of the voice department, and he was like, "You can't fucking do that. Okay, the school makes more money off of her, and she's actually more valuable than you. We can replace you. There's a lot of people that want your job.
That's fucking,
you know,
that's fucking
and we pay
immoral.
you $20 or $20,000 a year, whatever the fuck it was. You know, we pay you fucking nothing. Yeah. She makes us $35,000 a year.
Yeah,
you will lose your job if you say that to her.
Yeah,
that's what they said to me. This really fucking happened to me. I was like, someone's got to tell that girl. They were like, you'll lose your job.
Look, that's
the reality of this shit.
That's more immoral than I could say. But the thing is, universities also have financial obligations. It's I get it. I understand why. Even teaching privately at a music school, I used to tell people who would bring me their 7-year-old kids for singing lessons, I'm like, in my professional opinion, what your daughter needs is piano lessons.
Yeah.
I think she's a talented girl. I think she's a talented girl, but she needs to. The thing that she needs right now is a musical basis and an ear and an understanding of harmony and melody, right? You can do that better with a piano right now. It's more applicable information. And the voice is so young, I can't really do anything with it right now.
Yeah.
And I was approached by the head of the music school, and there's like, that's lost money.
Yeah.
You're losing us money because the parents don't want to hear that. Their daughter's a star.
Yeah.
Just shut up and teach them.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, no.
Yeah.
I won't do. I will not hold back my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that because I didn't necessarily need that particular job, but. Sorry, that
happens
bullshit.
on a big level too, and that happens at the universities, and that happens at the house. That is capitalism. That's the American system. And if you're an American singer, you have to recognize that you are living in a broken fucking system. Okay, the university system. Someone justify to me why it should cost that much to study. You know, I have never heard one argument.
Especially since they're state subsidized schools.
Yeah,
they're already subsidized.
Yeah, why the fuck does it cost $100,000 to get a fucking singing degree? That makes no sense. And then once you do, the American opera system, which has no support from the government, is also a shaky, risky, broken system at best.
Yeah.
You know, look, we did a podcast once where we talked about supporting the arts, and I can't remember the statistics we threw out, but Germany spends something like 30 euros per person on the arts every year, and America does something like half a cent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's radically different. Justify to me in the American system when the opera houses are not supported by the fucking government. You know what I mean? They're all private and shit like that. How does it make sense to get $100,000 fucking loan at 6% to try to sing in that system? That makes no goddamn sense, man.
I might excerpt this bit and put it out on Instagram or something because this is important.
Yeah, it makes no sense. And it's like, this is your fucking life. And I don't care if everybody else is doing it and your friends are getting a master's and it looks great on fucking Instagram, man. You're going to be older someday. And you think a tattoo's fucking permanent? Fuck you. You can get tattoos removed. You can't get fucking debt removed. You know what I mean?
Good point.
Yeah. And the thing is
take that money and get a tattoo.
And if you think the idea of learning German for 2 years and then moving to Germany to sing opera in Germany or study and get a master's in German
is
scary, guess what? You shouldn't be a fucking singer then. Like, because that will be that amount of fear and doubt is literally the rest of your life.
Yep.
It's literally your entire life as a singer, and it never stops. Mike has a fest job as a singer. Mike has a lot of fest jobs. Mike has, I don't know, 100 fucking roles on his resume. He has so much experience. And is your job 100% safe?
No, of course not.
No, fucking of course
not.
Every year, Mike has to wonder, is his contract going to get canceled? Is that theater going to close?
No.
And are you guaranteed another job somewhere else?
No, of course not.
So with all your training and all your experience and all your resume and shit and your connections, it's still not safe.
Yep.
You still have to think about sometimes at night, what if this all goes away tomorrow? That's the rest of your fucking life. And if you're not willing to live with that, and you're not willing
now
to
imagine all that. Imagine all that uncertainty
yeah.
with the debt looming over you, no matter what.
Yeah, and
imagine
so
that.
if you think me saying learn German and go study in Germany for free is crazy, then this is not the career for you.
Yep.
That should be a really good idea, and you should be excited by the fact that
always-
you can learn a language, go live in Europe, take a shot at something that's your dream for free, come back, still be in your mid-20s when you failed, and do something else.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Fuck, man.
Yep.
Anyway.
Dude, let's end it there. That's it. That was maybe one of the all-time just the tips.
Yeah.
It's important.
So you might have got the whole shaft on that one, but like,
Yeah, we went balls.
that was like a
deep.
20-minute rant. Sorry. This is a long fucking podcast, but Mike and I are going to take a quick piss break and then record the next podcast. So everybody, take care of yourselves. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Don't go into debt.
Love
See ya.
you guys. Thank you.